This is a special report from Beit El Institutions, Beit El under attack. I'm Baruch Gordon. 3 terror attacks recently struck Beit El residents and soldiers over a span of 5 days. The first attack was perpetrated on Sunday night, December 9th, when an Arab terrorist opened fire at a bus stop at the adjacent town of Ofra. Note the white car slowing down, spraying bullets, and then speeding away. Again, the civilians are standing at the concrete barriers. The dust kicking up is the bullets hitting. In his escape route, the terrorist signals to turn left to Ramallah on a road that the IDF closed off years ago for security reasons. But the Netanyahu government reopened that road as a confidence-building measure towards the Palestinian Authority. Shira Ishran was 30 weeks pregnant when she was standing at that bus stop. She was seriously wounded and lost her child as a result. Shira is a recent graduate of the Beit El Institution's Jeannie Gluck Girls High School. She's displayed tremendous strength in her recovery and leadership in her statements to the press. She said that she and her husband will have many more babies in place of the one that they lost. Shira's mother, Liora, is a longtime teacher at the Beit El Institution's Girls High School. Joining us now is Shira's father, Chaim Silberstein, who runs the Keep Jerusalem organization. Chaim has lived in Beit El for decades. Chaim, where were you when you heard of the attack, and what thoughts sped through your mind at that moment?
I was at a meeting in Beit El, and the friend that I was sitting with told me that there'd been a terror attack at Ofra, and I said to him, you know, my kids often stand at that station because they live further down in that direction, and then at that point, my son-in-law called me from the ambulance to tell me that there'd been this terror attack, and it's hard to describe how you feel at that moment. On the one hand, it was an incredibly high sense of anxiety and terror to hear that your children have been attacked and shot. And at that time, I felt a little sense of relief because my son-in-law told me that he was alive, he was okay, he just ignored his bullet wounds, and that Shira was conscious. What I didn't know actually, and what he actually didn't know, is that she was critically injured, tottering between life and death, having lost about 2 liters of blood. But thank God I didn't know that. It was a very difficult time, and thank God it took them only 19 minutes in the ambulance to get to the hospital, and the staff there literally saved her life.
Chaim, can you give us an update on Shira's recovery?
Thank God over this last week her situation has considerably improved. She's out of danger. There are medical complications that remain. She's going in for quite a complicated operation today. But we're praying for her full recovery, and we're just so grateful that Hashem gave us back our children alive.
Some people are afraid to come out to Beit El because of security concerns. What, Chaim, would you say to them?
I think that it's important to make a statement, to say that I am going to walk around all parts of the land of Israel, and especially the heartland, and especially Beit El, which is the house of God. So yes, I think it's important to come here. It doesn't mean we mustn't be careful. It doesn't mean that we should not ignore the dangers surrounding us. But at the same time, we travel in and day out. Tens and hundreds of thousands of people do it, and usually pretty safely. So Baruch haba, welcome to Beit El.
Thank you, Chaim, and may Shira have a speedy recovery.
Thank you.
The name used in prayer for her recovery is Shira Yael bat Liora Sarah. 4 days later, on Thursday, December 13th, terrorists attacked again. Jews standing at the bus stop to Beit El from the Givat Asaf junction were fired at. I'm standing here at the junction. Just beyond the bus is the actual intersection, and the road coming up here leads into Givat Asaf behind these trees. It's a small little Jewish village of some 20-25 families. And on the way to Beit El, as we head up this way, Beit El and Ramallah, you can see there is the actual hitchhike stand and bus stop where the terrorist attack took place. Let's take a closer look. So again, there is the Givat Asaf junction, and this is the actual bus stop where the terrorist attack took place. A car came and stopped right here in front of the bus stop. The driver stayed in his seat. A man next to him got out with a gun. walked right up to the sidewalk here where these members of Knesset are standing. They've come to visit the site. The terrorist standing here at point blank range began spraying bullets. You can see a bullet hole here that he created, as well as there's two right here. And even on the ground, we can see shots. There's a bullet hole, and here's another. Two IDF soldiers from the religious Nachal Haredi unit were killed. Shira Sabag, another graduate of the same Gluck Girls High School in Beit El, sustained bullet wounds in her leg and lower torso. She underwent surgery and is still laying in her hospital bed. Her father, Rabbi Yorm Sabag, is dean or Rosh Yeshiva at the Beit El Institution's Yeshiva High School. Rabbi Yorm told us that Shira is a strong girl and will overcome her wounds. Her name for traditional prayers is Shira Bat Michal. A Nachal Haredi soldier named Netanel Felber was critically wounded in that same attack. Sharona Eshet Cohen is his cousin. She lives in Beit El and serves as Beit El Institution's online media director. Sharona, tell us about your cousin Netanel.
So Netanel made Aliyah with his family from Maryland when he was 9, to Ranana. Recently, he's been serving in Nachal Haredi, and recently he's been serving in Beit El for the last couple months. So it's been very nice that he's been able to come up to us for Shabbat dinners, and we had a Hanukkah party that he was at.
What is Netanel's current condition, and what do doctors say regarding his recovery?
He is still in a medically induced coma. He finished successful surgery to remove bones from his brain. He's still considered to be in critical condition, but stable. And the doctors don't really have any prognosis until he wakes up.
Sharona, I'm seeing that you live in the most remote neighborhood of Beit El, and even there in the furthest house. There's nothing between you and the Arab village behind you. Do you live in fear?
No, I don't. Someone has to live here to make sure that it stays in Jewish hands, so that's us.
Thank you, Sharona Eshet Cohen. Netanel's name for recovery prayers is Netanel Ilan Ben Shena Tzipora. The terrorist who perpetrated that attack used a Kalashnikov assault rifle. During the term of Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, his Labor Party government authorized the issuance of thousands of Kalashnikov rifles to members of the PLO terrorist group. They reasoned that the terrorists would never use the guns against Israelis since they just signed a peace treaty with them. The IDF recovered the rifle used in the attack, which is shown here. The IDF spokesman would not comment on whether the rifle was part of that same series which the Rabin administration gave to the PLO. The next Friday, December 14th, an IDF soldier was seriously wounded while guarding at an IDF post in Beit El. So what happened on Friday morning is that there was a soldier standing along this cement wall. Now, the army, which had long ago recommended that this cement, these slabs of cement be laid there as another protective fence to distance potential terrorists from Beit El, the Supreme Court said no. You have to leave a little opening just behind that flag. Now, that opening you can't see now, but here's another photo where you can see that opening. Someone is standing there explaining what happened in Hebrew. The Army subsequently, a few hours ago, sealed that opening. The Supreme Court said since this house, which has been destroyed also only a few hours ago, was owned by an Arab, he wasn't living there, he'd long ago abandoned it. The Supreme Court ordered the Army, against the recommendations of the security people in Beit El and the IDF, to leave one slab of concrete missing, to have an opening so that Arab, anytime he wanted to go see his land in front of us here, could go see it. And that's what the Arab terrorist used. He came in that opening right behind the flag. He walked across this grass right here, went up into, snuck behind the soldier who was looking out towards the street there, the main road, and smashed the back of his head with a huge rock and began stabbing him. The wounded soldier put up a fight and wounded the Arab assailant. The Arab ran back through the Supreme Court's opening in the wall and fled to safety in Ramallah. Apparently afraid he would be hunted down and killed, the attacker turned himself in a few days later. Joining us now is Beit El's founder and former member of Knesset, Yaakov Ketzele Katz. Ketzele, how does the Israeli government need to be responding to this recent spate of terror attacks?
The most important answer that always worked was that when they killed a Jew or murdered a Jew, we build another city, village, town on his name. It was the biggest deterrence against them when they knew that when they killing us and murdering us, we are building 10 times more. This made them being careful of doing it again and again. In the very place that Jews were murdered, immediately we built a town or city. They knew that and they stopped to kill. But the Jews have to know that the most important deterrence in order to avoid it or to prevent it, it's by building and constructing more and more. This will stop them from doing it again.
Many of our viewers are from the United States, Canada, and other countries. What message, Katzler, do you have for our brothers overseas?
We are one nation, and always the Jewish people outside of Israel knew that when they're helping us, they're helping themselves. If Israel is strong, automatically the Jewish people in the abroad, in the diaspora, feel much safer. You have to help us to do the right thing. We need more money to the Yeshuvim in Judea and Samaria to build. We need more money to bring more and more students to Judea and Samaria. We need more and more money to build in the Golanite, in the Galil, in the Negev. We have to go to the corners of the state of Israel and to give them the strength and the power places which the Arab trying to weaken us, to make us smaller and weaker. We have to get from you the strength and the power to stay in the places which we are, to help us to build, to help us to do things, and to make us stronger, and to feel encouraged by you that you really love us and we are one nation, like we say, "Ummi k'amcha Yisrael goy echad ba'aretz."
With the open window provided by the current U.S. and Israeli administrations, Beit El Institutions is building 4 separate projects to bring more staff, students, and residents to Beit El. The largest project in this unprecedented building blitz is an entire new campus for the Gluck IDF Preparatory Academy. It will consist of 2 buildings totaling 60,000 square feet. The cost of the entire project is $16 million. In this simulation, you can see the main study hall and classroom building. Next to it is the dormitory, which includes dining facilities and a state-of-the-art fitness center. The foundations have been laid, and the work on the actual buildings is beginning. Now more than ever, when Beit El is under attack, our viewers are invited to fuel an increased pace of building. Just like Beit El founder Katzler said, construction in the very place of an attack is the most effective deterrence policy that Zionism has ever adopted. You can make a difference in deterring Arab terror. Join us in making this dream of a new campus for the IDF Preparatory Academy in Beit El, turning it into a reality. Partner with us by going to BeitelInstitutions.com. That's BETEL institutions.com. Just click the donate button and also check out the free subscriptions to our email lists. May we together strengthen Beit El and be strengthened.